Dosanjh ਦੇ ਦਲਜੀਤ ਦੋਸਾਂਝ ਦੇ ਪਿੰਡ ਤੋਂ no way
And my dad's business minded see, but he had a lot of like ups and downs, right? Donor banonde see.
I think people who been through tough phases, they come even more stronger.
They come stronger. Night shift, swere bhi kaam karna, but she was always there for us.
And nowadays kids think short term. They don't
100%.
think, they don't want to learn. They just want to make money quick.
Mainly because bullying bhi bahut chaldi see, right? And you know, different kids, but I never backed down.
Mashallah.
Everything happens for a reason. Right? 2 ਹਫ਼ਤੇ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਦੀ ਸਟ੍ਰਾਈਕ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਹੋ ਗਈ. I see it with my own friends. Support ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਦੇ. Right? And ਜੇ ਕੋਈ ਕਿਸੇ ਦਾ ਬਿਜ਼ਨਸ ਆਈਡੀਆ ਨਹੀਂ ਤੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਬਿਜ਼ਨਸ ਕਰਨਾ, ਤੂੰ ਜੌਬ ਲੈ ਲਾ ਔਰ ਸਕੂਲ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਜੇ ਤੂੰ ਸਕੂਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਗਿਆ ਸੀ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕੀ ਕਹਿਣਾ, ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਸੋਚਦੇ about other people. 6 ਮਹੀਨੇ ਹੋ ਗਏ, no deal, ਕੋਈ ਪੈਸੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਬਣਿਆ. ਫਿਰ ਮੇਰੇ ਦਿਮਾਗ ਵਿੱਚ ਆ ਗਿਆ, ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ real estate, maybe it's not for me.
I used to stay with 10 girls in one room.
And, another thing I would say is think big. Don't think small. I got shocked because next ki kehna inu, right? Right?
And I was shocked. Like my eyes were like that. I was like, what? How can you say that as being a policeman? How can you say that publicly on media, you know? Sat Shri Akal ji, welcome back to Punjabi Sharks. ਅੱਜ ਦੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਗੈਸਟ ਹੈਗੇ ਹੈ ਦੋਸਾਂਝਾਂ ਦਾ ਮੁੰਡਾ all the way from Canada, Bikram Dosanjh. Welcome ਜੀ.
Thank you G. I appreciate this. I'm excited to be here, right? And ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਵੀ story ਸੁਣੀ ਆ. My wife watches all your stuff and ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਾਫੀ inspiration ਆ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਵਾਸਤੇ.
Thank you ਜੀ. How's Dubai treating you?
I love it.
ਵਧੀਆ ਲੱਗ ਰਿਹਾ?
Very nice. ਗਰਮੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਆ.
Garmi is getting better now.
Yeah.
You didn't see the Garmi. If you would have come in, I would say August, it was really
I heard that
hot.
time you can't even go outside.
You can't even walk outside. You can't even like stand outside. It's like you can't breathe. It's too humid.
So what do you guys do?
Work.
In the day. Work, right?
Make money. Andar back
right?
We make money. But you know, I've been living here for 11 years. So you get used to it, you know, like how you live in Canada. You're used to the cold, right? So I can't live in cold. I feel like, oh, I'm gonna work, I'm gonna like operate here, right?
You ever seen snow?
No, never seen snow, live snow, never in my life. I've been to Switzerland, I have seen snow, but not the live snow.
Never experienced it on a daily basis.
No.
Snow shovel karni, gaddi saaf karni.
No.
Right?
My family lives in Canada.
Okay.
So, and my in-laws are from Canada. So they always tell me stories. My mom keeps sending me videos. Snow ਪੈਂਦੀ ਹੈਗੀ. They really like it ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਉਹ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਤੋਂ move ਹੋਇਆ ਨਾ. ਉਹਨਾਂ ਲਈ ਉਹ fascinating ਹੈ ਬਹੁਤ, like snow ਪੈ ਰਹੀ.
It's actually nicer, right? I mean, especially ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉੱਤੇ ਹੋ, right? Like my mom and dad, they love it too. But sometimes too much ਵੀ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦਾ. But overall, at least seasons ਬਹੁਤ ਆ. Right? Climate change ਹੁੰਦਾ.
And you're from Toronto.
Toronto, But Toronto, you could say Mississauga. I was Mississauga ਤੋਂ ਮੈਂ ਉੱਤੇ grow up ਹੋਇਆ, born. Mommy daddy ਹੁਣ Brampton ਰਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ. Right, but ਜਿਹੜਾ mainly ਮੇਰਾ real estate ਦਾ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੰਮ ਉਹ ਸਾਰਾ downtown Toronto ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ.
Right, and originally you're from ਪੰਜਾਬ ਤੋਂ, ਕਿੱਥੋਂ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਤੋਂ?
Dad Dosanjh.
ਅੱਛਾ,
right?
ਦੋਸਾਂਝਾਂ ਦੇ ਦਲਜੀਤ ਦੋਸਾਂਝ ਦੇ ਪਿੰਡ ਤੋਂ? No way.
Yeah.
You guys are from same ਪਿੰਡ?
Same ਪਿੰਡ.
ਰਿਸ਼ਤੇਦਾਰ ਹੋ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦਲਜੀਤ ਦੋਸਾਂਝ ਦੇ?
I mean, Dad tells me, right, ਜਦੋਂ ਛੋਟੇ ਸੀ ਉਹ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ families ਬਸ ਨਾਲ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ ਸੀ.
Acha, very interesting.
And mommy Jalandhar to.
Oh, very nice. And Diversifying Dosanjh is doing amazing job.
Oh my
like
gosh.
Feel so proud. I feel so energetic whenever I see him performing or doing well.
Me too. Right? Even his songs, I listen to them all the time.
Definitely.
Right? Sometimes in the gym or when I'm driving my car.
Yeah.
I love it. Plus ਜਦੋਂ ਨਾਮ ਵੀ Dosanjh ਆਉਂਦਾ ਹੋਵੇ
ਫਿਰ ਤਾਂ ਛਾਤੀ ਫੁੱਲ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਆ, ਉਹ ਅਸੀਂ ਹਾਂ ਬਸ.
Exactly.
I feel ਜਦ ਸਿੱਧੂ ਮੂਸੇਵਾਲਾ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ I'm Sidhu, right? Whenever he used to be in news, I used to feel good, you know, like oh ਸਾਡਾ ਮੁੰਡਾ ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਸਾਡੇ ਪਿੰਡਾਂ ਦਾ ਮੁੰਡਾ ਹੈ. You feel good, ਜਦੋਂ ਆਪਣਾ
ਅੰਦਰੋਂ ਵਧੀਆ ਫੀਲ ਆਉਂਦਾ
ਹੈ.
Right?
And feel proud. And you grew up in Canada. Tell us more about your childhood, your family background. What did your father do when he moved to Canada?
He moved there, So my parents came as immigrants, right? Majority of people ਜਿਹੜੇ Canada ਆਉਂਦੇ, majority immigrants ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ. And when my childhood, I remember ਜਦੋਂ ਡੈਡੀ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਆਏ ਸੀ, they're just working ਮੇਨ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਪਹਿਲਾ ਜੌਬ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕੀਤੀ ਸੀ was a donut baker, right? ਜਦੋਂ ਡੋਨਟ ਬਣਾਉਂਦੇ ਸੀ ਕਹਿ ਲਓ donut shop ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, right? And ਉਹਦੇ ਤੋਂ he learned, worked hard, right? Mom was just working factory jobs because ਕੋਈ ਹੋਰ job ਮਿਲਦੀਆਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ, right? My parents worked like very hard, right? And I think because of that, me and my brothers have like a strong work ethic, right? Especially seeing them struggle so much in a new country, right? And my dad's whole, always business minded, see, right? But he had a lot of like ups and downs, right? The donut business though, well, business nahi hai je donut banaunde si. Phir ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ idea ਆ ਗਿਆ donut ਦੀ factory ਖੋਲੀ ਹੈ, right? And ਉੱਤੇ ਇੱਕ Toronto ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ a franchise ਸੀ called Coffee Time, right? Tim Hortons ਅਜੇ ਆਇਆ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ, right? So Coffee Time was the main one, and Dad's business started to do well, supplying 52 Coffee Times, right? So ਵਧੀਆ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਸੀ ਸਭ ਕੁਛ, but ਫਿਰ Tim Hortons ਆ ਗਿਆ, and ਜਦੋਂ Tim Hortons ਆਇਆ, Tim Hortons ਨੇ one by one ਸਾਰੀ Coffee Time pretty much khatam kar liya, right? And फिर ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ business ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਛ ਥੱਲੇ ਆ ਗਿਆ, ਥੱਲੇ to the point where ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਛ loss ਹੋ ਗਿਆ. And even now that I'm older, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ, but ਜਦੋਂ ਮੈਂ ਛੋਟਾ ਸੀ ਉਦੋਂ ਇੰਨਾ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ, but ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ house ਵੀ almost ਚਲ ਗਿਆ, right? So a lot of that struggle, and but that was, I think, a main part of me becoming successful in real estate.
Yeah, when you see, I always believe when you see tough times in your life, especially when you see your family struggling, that gives you different drive, you know. 100%. You want to give them the best life. You want to make sure that they never suffer again, and you don't suffer again, and your kids don't suffer ever. How whatever they went through.
Yeah.
So I understand. I think people who been through tough phases, they come even more stronger.
They come stronger.
Yeah.
Right.
True.
That is something that you can't learn unless you go through it. Right. You have to go through it, and it makes you stronger. Either it makes you stronger or you give up.
Totally
right?
Agree.
You can't give up. Anyone who becomes successful or is a winner, you've met so many people here in Dubai, they probably all have stories that they had tough times, but you never gave up, right?
Definitely. So each and every person who moved to Dubai has a tough story. Nobody started with silver spoon, with a luxury lifestyle. Everybody went through tough phase in their life. And they got where they got,
100%, right? And so that was Dad. Mom was working 2-3 jobs, right? Night shift, swere bhi kaam karna. But she was always there for us. Like, I have 2 brothers, ਅਸੀਂ 3 ਭਰਾ, right? Always ਮੰਮੀ ਨੇ ਜਿੱਤੇ ਮਰਜੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕਹਿ ਲਓ ਜਿਮ ਦੀ ਮੈਂਬਰਸ਼ਿਪ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਸੀ, ਜੇ you know ਨਵੇਂ ਸ਼ੂ ਅਸੀਂ ਲੈਣੇ ਆ, ਬਾਸਕਟਬਾਲ ਦਾ ਆ ਲੈਣਾ. ਹੁਣ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ, right? How much ਕਿੰਨੇ probably ਘੰਟੇ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਕੇ ਸ਼ੂ ਲਿਆ. Right? Like, let's say $200 ਦੇ shoe, but thinking about a factory job, they $200 ਬਣਾਉਣ ਨੂੰ ਉਹ time ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ maybe I don't know, 2 ਹਫ਼ਤੇ ਦੀ income, right? But she never showed us. She always gave us what we wanted. But ਜਿਹੜੀ ਮੇਰੀ ਆਪ ਕਹਿ ਲਓ story ਆ, school ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ I was very bad, right?
Like gangster.
Bad kid. Yeah. Especially ਜਦੋਂ ਮੈਂ ਛੋਟਾ ਸੀ.
ਮੈਂ ਸੁਣਿਆ ਕਿ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਨਾ ਸਕੂਲ ਚ ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲੀ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਆਪਣੇ ਹਨਾ kids.
I look at some of my friends ਜਿਹੜੇ although they ਹੁਣ friend ਨਹੀਂ obviously, but ਉਹ same ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਰਹਿ ਗਏ, right?
And they spoiled their life.
Right? So my mom and dad, you know, because ਦੋ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਸੀ, I used to get in a lot of arguments with people, especially kids. Mainly because bullying ਵੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਚੱਲਦੀ ਸੀ, right? And you know, different kids, but I never backed down because mom always said ਤੁਸੀਂ back down ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਨਾ, right? ਸਿਖਾਇਆ ਸੀ, right? But the other thing was teacher ਕਹਿੰਦੀ ਸੀ ਮੇਰੇ ਮੰਮੀ ਡੈਡੀ ਨੂੰ ਬਿਕਰਮ ਦੀ slow progress, ਇਹਦੀ ESL, right? English as a second language. Even though ਮੈਂ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ born, right? They're saying ਇਹਦੇ ਕੋਈ English ਨਹੀਂ ਬੋਲ ਹੁੰਦੀ, ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਜੇ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਠਹਿਰ ਕੇ career ਕੋਈ opportunity ਮਿਲੂਗੀ, we have to put him in a special program, slow behavior, this and that. My mom never listened to them. She always said ਮੇਰਾ ਮੁੰਡਾ different, right? But ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੇਖੋ ਇੱਕ ਦਿਨ like he's going to be
and
successful.
Look at you today.
Yeah, right?
And you won't believe people used to call me, like even my Gwandi used to call me mote dimag di. Matlab your dimag hai nahi ga tera. And I'm like, look at me now, and 100%. Look at you guys now. Like, it's not, I'm not being egoistic, but it's just ke jo banda na family to totally different hunda. People who you think they are not normal, they always become something different. They always do something different.
Sahi gal, exactly what you said. It just means we're different. Right? And different badiya cheez hundi hai. If you're not different, then sometimes you just get stuck. And when you get stuck, फिर जड़ा thinking भी stuck करंदी है, future भी stuck करंदी है, and you don't think different, you don't think big.
True.
Right? So I look at it now, and you know, my mom always said, you're good, you're smart, you're this, you're that, keep going, right? So throughout education, you know, up until grade 6, 7, 8, always problems chaldi si school de vich, and marks both low si, right? Koi university di soche bhi nahi si, to be honest, right? But in grade 9, my dad made a decision. ਮੈਨੂੰ completely different school ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਪਾ ਲਿਆ, right? So ਜਿਹੜੇ ਮੇਰੇ friends ਸੀ ਕਹ ਲੋ, that's why I say environment ਬਹੁਤ important ਆ, right? ਜਦੋਂ ਡੈਡੀ ਨੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ different ਸਕੂਲ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਪਾ ਲਿਆ ਉੱਥੇ ਕੋਈ ਮੇਰੇ friend ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ, right? So all I could do, ਨਾ ਕੋਈ friend ਬਣਦੇ ਸੀ ਉਹ ਟਾਈਮ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, I was shy, ਮੈਂ shy ਵੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਸੀ, right? Like ਉਹਨਾਂ ਸੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੇ and all this stuff. I remember even when I started real estate, shuru de vich I was so shy, right? Introvert, right? But anyways, going back to the story, jodo mainu different school de vich paya, then I realized something, that if I focus and I have no distractions, my marks went up, right? And then by grade 12, mainu scholarship mil gayi.
That's amazing.
University janu, right? But that taught me something, that Bikram, if you put your mind focus karna kete, distractions nahi andar leke aane hai, right? Lokan nahi sunna nahi kisi nu, but just focus, you can become anything you put your mind to, right? So that was kind of my childhood, and from there I went to university, but I didn't finish university.
And I heard you started real estate at the age of 18.
18 years old.
Why so early?
So I'll tell you the full story, right? So I go to York University in Toronto to become a lawyer. Right, because not because I like the lawyer stuff, but I thought doctor ma banani, right? And I almost always ma paise banane si. So mainu ma dekhya lawyers nu paise bande ya, doctors make money, you know, typical jede career hunde ya. And I said, okay, lawyer, I can become a lawyer, right? So I go start university, and I look at life, everything happens for a reason, right? 2 hafte de vich university di strike shuru ho gayi. And strike ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ almost 4-5 ਮਹੀਨੇ ਸਕੂਲ ਬੰਦ ਰਿਹਾ, right? ਉਹ time ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ instead of doing nothing, I just started going with my dad everywhere. Because my dad by that time, community ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਕਾਫੀ involvement ਸੀ. They have a radio program, right? Sanjay Punjab Radio and TV. And dad knew a lot of people in the community, right? So I would just go with him. And then ਮੈਂ ਦੇਖਦਾ ਸੀ, ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ real estate agent ਗੱਡੀਆਂ ਵਧੀਆ ਚਲਾਉਂਦੇ ਆ. Oh, my pehli cheez dekhi hai.
Fancy cars driving around.
Fancy cars. I always like, you know, nice cars.
Right.
Jado da chota, I always like cars. I love, right? And my dream car at that time was a Mercedes like S class. And फिर मैं देखिए मैं कह देखो भी S class, वो देखो भी S class, and I'm like, and nothing against them, but they can't even speak properly. So I'm thinking, if they can become successful in real estate, why can't I? So that's kind of where it started. I started checking commission kinni hundi kar di jada koi car bekhda, right?
It's mind blowing,
right? It's mind blowing. So that time average commission in Toronto was like 8 to 10,000, right? So I thought, okay, je main ek car mahine da bechda, right? 10,000 saal da 120,000 lawyer di income ete ban gayi,
meri gaddi aa gayi bas.
Exactly, right? So otte o kam shuru hoya, and then ek mera dad da friend si, o kenda Bikram tu real estate da license le la. And I was like, uncle, batani, like real estate, should I do it now or should I finish university? ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਤੇਰੇ 4-5 ਮਹੀਨੇ ਤੇ university ਬੰਦ ਆ, 3 ਮਹੀਨੇ ਲੱਗਣੇ ਲਾਇਸੈਂਸ ਲੈਣ ਨੂੰ, ਲਾਇਸੈਂਸ ਲੈ ਲਾ. I got my license. My mom, dad both supported it. ਉਹ ਵੀ ਇੱਕ ਚੀਜ਼ ਆ, they support everything we did. And sometimes ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦੇ parents, I see it with my own friends, support ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਦੇ, right? And ਜੇ ਕੋਈ ਕਿਸੇ ਦਾ business idea, ਨਹੀਂ ਤੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ business ਕਰਨਾ, ਤੂੰ ਜੌਬ ਲੈ ਲਾ ਔਰ ਸਕੂਲ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਜੇ ਤੂੰ ਸਕੂਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਗਿਆ ਸੀ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕੀ ਕਹਿਣਾ, ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਸੋਚਦੇ about other people.
Exactly.
Right?
But yeah, ਆਪਣੀ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਨਾ ਲੋਕੀ ਇਹ ਸੋਚਦੇ ਆ ਕਿ ਦੂਸਰੇ ਕੀ ਸੋਚਣਗੇ, ਹੈ ਨਾ? ਆਪਣੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੋਚਦੇ ਕਿ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਬੱਚਾ ਕੀ ਸਫਰ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ, what does he or she wants to do, ਹੈ ਨਾ? They want other to make feel happy. ਆਪਣੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਨੂੰ ਭਾਵੇਂ ਰਵਾ ਦਿਓ. So that's very sad about our community.
So, you know, so ਮੈਂ real estate ਦਾ license ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕਰ ਲਿਆ, license ਮਿਲ ਗਿਆ. ਫਿਰ then I got into real estate, 18 ਸੀ, and I was very shy. Like I wouldn't like ਜਦੋਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਨੀ ਸੀ property ਦੀ, I just used to get like shy. ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀ ਕਹਿਣਾ, ਮੈਂ shy ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਸੀ. But then slowly, you know, as you get more and more confidence build up ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਆ, and then ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ I started doing typical resale. I think in Dubai ਤੁਸੀਂ secondary market ਕਰਦੇ,
secondary market,
right? Secondary market. I was doing that in Brampton ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ. I would show people houses. ਮੇਰੇ ਤੋਂ ਕੋਈ ਲੈਂਦਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ, ਕਿਸੇ ਹੋਰ ਤੋਂ ਲੈ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਸੀ. 6 ਮਹੀਨੇ ਹੋ ਗਏ, no deal, ਕੋਈ ਪੈਸੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਬਣਿਆ. ਫਿਰ ਮੇਰੇ ਦਿਮਾਗ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆ ਗਿਆ, ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ real estate, maybe it's not for me, right? Maybe it's ਜਿੰਨਾ ਮੈਂ ਸੋਚਦਾ ਸੀ easy ਨਹੀਂ. And I almost quit and gave up. But someone was there, ਅਸੀਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਦੇ Christmas party ਸੀ, and ਉਹ ਬੰਦਾ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ, Bikram, you should sell pre-construction. And ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ, uncle, pre-construction ਕੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ? ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਮੇਰਾ ਇੱਕ friend ਵੇਚਦਾ, and he's a very successful guy, and he's making over a couple $1 million a year. And ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ, wow, 14 years ago well, you could say 2010 Toronto ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ pre-construction ਦੀ market ਹੈ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ, ਕੋਈ agent ਵੇਚਦਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ. And I look back at it, right place, right time for me. Because ਜਦੋਂ ਮੈਂ pre-construction the ਗੱਲ, I learned what it was, 4-5 agent Toronto ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੇਚਦੇ ਸੀ. Nobody. So he put me on the phone with this guy. ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਸਾਰੀ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਹੋਈ ਆ. But right away I could tell ਇਹ ਬੰਦਾ different ਆ. ਜਿਹੜੇ ਦੂਜੇ ਏਜੰਟਸ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਜਾਣਦੇ ਆ ਉਹ ਐਵਰੇਜ ਥਿੰਕਿੰਗ ਆ, ਦਿਸ ਗਾਈ ਇਜ਼ ਥਿੰਕਿੰਗ ਬਿਗ, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਡਿਫਰੈਂਟ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਐਕਸਪਲੇਨ ਕਰਦਾ. ਇੰਨਾ ਇੰਪ੍ਰੈਸਡ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ. ਹੀ ਸੈਡ ਤੂੰ ਕੱਲ੍ਹ ਕੀ ਕਰਦਾ? ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਮੈਂ ਵਿਹਲਾ. ਐਂਡ ਹੀ ਸੈਡ ਕਮ ਸੀ ਮੀ ਆਫਿਸ ਮੇਰੇ ਆ ਜਾ. ਇਹਨੇ ਨਵੀਂ ਜਿਹਦਾ ਕਹਿ ਲਓ ਬ੍ਰੋਕਰੇਜ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕੀਤੀ ਸੀ. ਐਟ ਦੈਟ ਟਾਈਮ ਹੀ ਵਾਜ਼ ਇਨ ਰੀਮੈਕਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੀ ਵਾਜ਼ ਅ ਟਾਪ, you could 7-figure producer, very successful, but then he opened his own small company for pre-construction. I met him. Pehli cheez maande ki, nice car, right? He had a brand new nice Porsche, right? I know you guys have one, right?
Jay has a
Porsche.
Yeah,
I saw on your profile pic, and that impressed me. But he was meeting a client, and ਉਹ client ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦਾ ਸੀ about downtown condominiums. And I'll be honest, ਮੇਰੀ family downtown ਕਿੱਥੇ ਗਈ ਆ? Right, in Mississauga, Brampton, maybe downtown at Nagar Kirtan ਜਦੋਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀ ਉਦੋਂ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਸੀ, right? We don't ever go there. We never been to 5-star restaurant, 5-star hotel. Life ਉਹ ਦੇਖੀ ਨਹੀਂ. He's talking about all these different things, and I'm like getting very excited. And he goes, Bikram, you should sell downtown Toronto. And I said, how am I going to sell downtown Toronto? Where am I going to find buyers?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. I don't know anything. And I was like that. In my mind, I was thinking, oh, that's for big people, or like a big, and this is why what you tell yourself is very important. Oh, Kenda, listen, I'm going to go show a client a condo downtown Toronto. Why don't you come with me? Tu piche beja gadi de vich, main kya theek hai, chaliye. And he's showing downtown Toronto. Main dekhda hu gaal kidda karda. Bechda nahi, but he's very good at selling without selling.
Building relationships. Not pushing. Storytelling. And he was storytelling about certain projects, right? ਜਿਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੇ ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੋਂਡੋ ਲਈ ਸੀ ਫੇਜ਼ 1 ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਐਂਡ ਉਦੋਂ ਜਦੋਂ ਕੰਪਲੀਸ਼ਨ ਹੋਈ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿੰਨੇ ਪੈਸੇ ਬਣਾਏ ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਆਹ ਏਰੀਆ ਡਾਊਨਟਾਊਨ ਦਾ ਆਹ ਪ੍ਰਾਈਸ ਪਰ ਸਕੁਅਰ ਫੁੱਟ ਹੋ ਗਈ, ਬਟ ਆਹ 2-3 ਮਾਰਕੀਟਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਨਵੇਂ ਪ੍ਰੋਜੈਕਟ ਆਉਣੇ ਆ, and all these things that I was learning. But then we got downtown Toronto, and he went to a condo project called Shangri-La, right? ਇੱਥੇ ਦੁਬਈ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ Shangri-La hotel chain.
Shangri-La hotel chain. ਉਸ ਟਾਈਮ Shangri-La Toronto ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ launch ਹੋਇਆ ਸੀ pre-construction. And he was showing the condo to the buyer for like $2 million. That time you could buy a house in Brampton, Mississauga for $300,000 to $400,000.
Wow.
So I'm thinking $2 million the condo, who's gonna buy that, right? Mm-hmm. But I started to get obsessed. Like I just became like excited with this completely different life and all these type of things. And then the next day I said, I'm gonna switch my license. I'm gonna come work for you. I said, I'll work for free, right? Like I just mentor me, right? And he became my first mentor.
That's the right approach, because I'm building my own team, and most of the people I call for interview, they have demands. They have demands, salary chahiye, A chahiye, O chahiye. I'm like, dude, I'm going to take you under my wing. I'm going to teach you like you're my baby,
so much. Yeah.
And nowadays, kids think short term. They don't 100%. They don't want to learn. They just want to make money, quick money, and
instant gratification.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Yeah. And the thing is, if you could learn, you're going to make way more money.
Exactly.
Right? Mm-hmm. Way more money. So I started working with him. I started spending every day with him. I just started going to the office all day and just learning. And now I was 7 months into real estate, and 2011 started now. And condo project at Namar Nagasi downtown ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, and ਉਹਨੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ explain ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਵੇਚਣਾ, ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਨੀ, this and that. So I just started like kind of memorizing how he talks, this and that, and that's where my life changed, right? Because my favorite Christmas party ਚੱਲਦੀ ਸੀ, ਮੈਂ Christmas party ਤੇ ਚਲ ਗਿਆ, right? ਉਹ ਸਾਰੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਹਿ ਲਓ real estate and mortgage broker community ਦੀ networking party ਸੀ, and ਮੈਨੂੰ ਇੱਕ ਦੋ ਬੰਦੇ ਪੁੱਛਦੇ ਸੀ what's new, this and that, how's life, the typical small talk questions. Maka, everything's good. I'm just working on a new project in downtown Toronto, and we have exclusive access before they open up to the public. And he goes, what do you mean? He goes, I'm interested. I got shocked because next ki kehna inu, right? Right? Interested in what do I do, right?
Yeah.
So anyways, I said, why don't we go look at it tomorrow? Give me your information. I'll pick you up. We'll go downtown Toronto. So we went downtown. I showed him the project. He said, I'm booking one. right?
Wow.
So one book kar liya unit.
That was your first deal?
First deal.
Wasn't that easy?
Yeah, it was easy, right? It was so much easier than what I was doing in resale. 6-7 months I'm doing open houses, kisse nu chaake property show karni, right? So you know how it is, right?
Yeah.
And then I find out only kisse aur to property le li because kisse ne marji commission वापस देती, you know, it happens. But मैं क्या, this guy just bought a condo, and instead of resale ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਹੜੀ 2.5% ਮਿਲਦਾ, pre-construction ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ 4% ਸੀ, right? So I made double the commission, right? But my luck is luck, I guess you could say. It's God. I believe a lot in God.
It's
right?
good right timing, to be honest.
Right timing, right? So, but when he's signing, oda phone ring ho gaya, oda friend da phone aa gaya, friend kenda tusi kitte a, ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ, and ਉਹ ਵੀ a successful businessman ਸੀ, ਉਹਦੇ ਕੋਲ like 15 gas station ਸੀ Toronto ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, and the friend goes, I'm buying a condo. He goes, where? He goes, downtown. He goes, maybe I'll buy one too. Where are you guys? Friend aa gaya. Right? And then I went to the builder. I'm like, listen, menu maybe 2 more unit chahiye hai, but give me some type of exclusive incentive marja de do, just in case. I was thinking Jane ne apne koi dost nu phone kar liya, koi agent nu, paji asi condo lani to asi wo buy it through you, because menu jaande nahi, right? Ek bari mile. But when the builder said, okay, no problem, right? Menu marji kalo discount deta price there. One book kar li unit. So 2 bookings in one day.
Wow.
And the crazy story is, his friend called, and that guy said, where are you guys? And wo bhi aa gaya, right?
No way.
Wo bhi aa gaya. But this is a pivotal moment where I learned a lot, because the friend was a real estate agent. And wo kehda nahi tusi sign nahi karo aje, main aun laga, right? वो आ गया, and वो मेरे नाल मार जा tough सी, right? Because वो probably सोचदा पता नहीं बच्चे ने, he took these मेरे दोस्त condo बेचदा, I should do the deal, right? And so मैनू कहंदा, listen Bikram, I don't think these guys are gonna, like, we have to cancel the deal. I'm gonna do the deal. They're my buyers. I said, listen, I'm gonna tell you, you could either do that, and I'm gonna talk. I have a very good relationship with the builder. How'd your relationship shuru hoi si, right? But I said, you can go to the builder. You're gonna pay $350,000. My price is $280,000. So do you want to save $10,000-$12,000 commission, or do you want to save like $70,000-$80,000 in the price?
Yeah.
And he goes, I want to save $70,000-$80,000. And luckily, I went to the builder before, and remember I said I want a special incentive? So then I went to the builder, I said, listen, this is a situation, this guy wants to cut me out.
Right.
And they said, no, you have to work with Bikram.
Oh.
So that was like a big moment for me. 3 deals done. Agent ne bhi booking kar li, mere to through book kar li, right? So then I learned the power of pre-construction. Maakya resale de vich this will never happen. But in pre-construction, I learned that if you have a strong relationship with the builder, they will value you over another broker.
Definitely.
Right?
Definitely.
Yeah.
And how's real estate market in Canada right now?
Right now, it's very slow. Very slow. The slowest I've seen since I started. It's pretty bad, if I'm be honest with you. Right?
Trust me, I have a lot of investors from Canada, and I talk to Canadian investors every single day.
Yeah.
And every investor is like, it's horrible right now.
Yeah.
Like, it's not looking good at all.
It's not.
Yeah, it's taking them months and months to sell their houses.
Yeah. Months and months to sell. Negative cash flow every month. And unfortunately, it's until things change, interest rates, so many different things going on in the economy over there. It's going to be a little slow time, but it'll get better, because in the long run, real estate will always go up.
Definitely.
Right? But yeah. I mean,
do you think Canada is going down?
You know what? I love Canada, right? I really do. But we definitely need a change in the government. I mean, I don't really want to get into politics, but anyone who's been following what's happening there, they need to switch to a conservative government.
Right.
Because, you know, with what's going on, there's nothing to support the business person. Anyone that's putting in hard money, hard work, taking all these risks. But the other thing is, it's making it tough for middle class too, because the cost to live has become so high. True. Right? The crime has become high. Right?
Exactly.
I'm sure.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you that.
Yeah.
What do you think about the crime increasing in the country?
It's bad.
It's really bad.
It's
Trust
bad.
me. I had a meeting with one of my investors a couple of days ago. They lived in Brampton for literally, I think, 10 years. Yeah. And they moved back to Amritsar.
Oh, wow.
Recently, a few months ago. And I asked them, like, what happened? Like, why did you move back? Yeah. And they make really good money in Canada.
Yeah.
And they said, front of our eyes, from front of our house, their car was stolen.
Yeah.
And they were just standing there and they were looking at them. And within 11 seconds,
it's gone.
They came and they took their car and they couldn't say anything. They couldn't even stop them because they can actually kill them. They can kill you, you know?
Yeah.
So
that's happening a lot, right? It never used to happen before.
And they said it's very normal.
Both normal. And that's why I'm saying government needs to change, right? Because jada government that's there is not criminals nu crime karde they come out right away. Koi penalty nahi, right? And that's the problem. You need to have some strict penalties. Jada Dubai de koi crime honda nahi because jikes ne kuch kar liya.
Strictness. Ethe jada law hai na wo apply hunda hai. It's just not just to say that there's a law. They actually apply that law.
They actually apply.
ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਦਾ ਕੋਈ crime ਕਰਦੇ they literally deport you.
Yeah.
You have no right to live in this country if you do those crimes. Which is right.
Which is right.
You should not live in a country if you want to do that. You go back to your country and do whatever you want to do, right?
Exactly.
And I saw a video recently. Police chief saying that if I'm sure you have seen that video as well.
Leave the keys in the front.
Leave the keys front of your door.
Yeah.
Don't take risk. And I was shocked. Like my eyes were like that. I was like, what? How can you say that as being a policeman? How can you say that publicly on media, you know?
Yeah. I can't even believe they said that. And maybe it was a mistake or I don't know what was happening in his mind that day. But so many people in Canada were sending that video saying, can you believe this?
It was horrible. I was like, how people are going to feel safe when the police is saying that, you know?
Yeah.
That wasn't,
So things have to change. Government has to change. But the real estate market will get better. I mean, Toronto just went through a big boom, right? So back like in 2011, when I started selling condos, you could buy a 1-bedroom with parking and locker for $250,000, right? And that's about $400 per square foot. And people were buying and they were making money. So investors, if they make money, what do they usually do? Take the money and buy more and keep making money, right? And as long as the property would always rent and every month you're not making cash flow like crazy, but you're covering all your expenses. As long as you cover your expenses, you're good, right? Because you can keep buying more. And the market just kept going up. And Toronto just became, I would say, from a small city to a big city, especially in North America.
Right.
And what happened is the prices just went up. You could say not so fast overnight. It was over 10, 11, 12 years. But it got to the point now where because the banks and because the mortgage rates are so high and because of everything going on, it's hard for people to make money in real estate right now.
What are the per square feet prices in Toronto?
Like it depends, right? So your average condo is going to be like $1,200, right? Average. Luxury, probably $2,000 a square foot. Around that range.
In central downtown.
Toronto. Yeah, downtown Toronto.
How about the townhouses or villas outside the city?
Yeah, so there's no villas, right? Like we have like big homes, but not like Dubai has next level villas, right? Like on the Palm and all these things. It's totally
massive
different.
Mansions.
Massive, right? But see, in Toronto, let's say like Mississauga, Brampton, average townhouse right now you could probably buy for $700,000-800,000. Okay. But 2 years ago, it went up to like 1.4 million.
Wow.
So the price around COVID time, it went boom, like so high, very fast. Because at that time, the government was, there's a lot of money being printed, mortgages were easy, all those type of things, right? And the pricing just went so high. Now it's slowed down. It's becoming more stabilized. Before it was a straight seller's market. Like one house, 20, 30 offers.
Right.
Every time a listing comes up, 20, 30 offers. Right. That's not healthy.
That's not.
Right? Yeah, it's great for the seller because they're making so much money and the agents are getting deals done like this.
It's good for agents, but not for long term.
It's not good for the long term. Right. So that's what was happening. And now it's become, you have a house for sale and now it's not selling.
Yeah, I have a client. I had a call this morning and my client was saying like they want to move their money here. They want to sell their house in Canada and move their money here. But it's been on sale from last 4 months and they're not able to sell it.
Yeah.
There's no buyers. There's no offers.
Yeah.
They said there were only 2 offers in last 4 months. And I was like, how's that possible? Yeah. And what is your say? What is your say on mass migration happening to Canada?
Like with all the people that are moving there.
Right.
I mean, it's a good and bad, right? In a way, it's good because you need more people to grow the economy, number one, right? It is still a great place to live. When you look at big cities in the world, it's still healthcare in terms of schools. It's overall still really good. And it's still affordable. Because if you compare it to places like New York,
big
right?
cities.
Big cities, it's still affordable, right? And sometimes we don't think about that. We see it as expensive. But on a global scale, it's not that expensive. But the thing is, we need the immigration. But with some of the immigration, you're having a lot of people that take advantage of the system. And, like when I go back to my parents' days, when they came as immigrants, everyone from that generation worked hard.
Yeah, but not anymore.
Not anymore.
People who are moving now, they all want social media. They all want to become social media influencers. They don't want to work. They don't want the real jobs. They don't want to hustle. They want easy money.
Yeah. That's the problem.
That's what I am seeing. It's not only people who are moving to Canada. It's all over. Like
it's all
in
over
the whole world. People just want easy money. They want to start YouTube and social media. That's it. They think that's their career.
And they think it's easy, and even that is not easy.
It's not easy at all.
Maybe you could have one video go crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. But how are you going to build a business around that?
True. How are you going to make money? Most people, especially because my audience is Punjabi and my algorithm is Punjabi. I see all the Punjabi videos. When I scroll for 5 minutes, I only see our Punjabi young generation dancing on music. I was like, why aren't you making money? You have like 500,000 followers, 1 million followers. Why aren't you selling something? Why aren't you starting some business? Why aren't you making money? Just dancing on videos, gaining some views, followers. That's not real business.
They care more about the views than the actual money.
Exactly.
Right, in the business. And it's unfortunate.
And it's insane, Bikram, how much money you can make from social media. I have seen people changing their life. If you know how to make it.
Well, I've seen my friends completely change their life. True. Right? Build a whole business from social media. But see, they had the hard work as well. They had the hard work. Social media became their platform to lead generate.
True.
Generate leads, right? If you generate leads, you need to know what to do with the leads.
Exactly.
Right? Because at the end of the day, you can get a lot of views and a lot of shares and likes, but if you don't know how to take that and actually build a relationship with that person for your product or service, you're not going to be able to do deals.
Of course, you need to have the right information. You need to have that skill to start that business. But of course, it's a great platform. But most people nowadays, especially kids who are born after 2000, they are in different world.
I call it, and people might get upset, but I call it like entitlement.
ज़्यादा अंग्रेजी होगी क्या होता है?
Entitlement ਦੇ ਨਾਲ like ਉਹ ਬਸ ਸੋਚਦੇ ਆ I deserve it. Like, like ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਸੀ ਜਦੋਂ maybe people come to and want to work with you, they're telling you ਮੈਨੂੰ ਇੰਨੇ ਪੈਸੇ ਚਾਹੀਦੇ ਆ.
Exactly.
They they never worked for anything, right? But they just think that we deserve it, or they want easy money, easy life, right? ਕੰਮ ਕੋਈ ਕਰਨਾ ਨਹੀਂ. And ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਕੋਈ successful ਬੰਦਾ ਕੋਈ ਬਣਦਾ ਨਹੀਂ, right?
Exactly.
However, this is also a blessing because ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕੰਮ hard work karue, and the ones that are driven and focused can become super big. Because majority are not doing that.
True.
Right? So you can use it to your advantage.
It is. Actually, ਮੈਂ ਨਾ nature ਘੱਟ ਤੋਂ ਘੱਟ 50 interviews ਲੈਣੀਆਂ 50 ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ maybe one person who I feel is like me, who has that drive. Like ਜਦ ਮੈਂ first job ਲੈਤੀ ਸੀਗੀ real estate ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ my director asked me like what do you expect? What are your expectation? How much salary? I said, no, I don't want salary. And they were like, you were the first person who said no to salary. Otherwise, everybody wants to 5,000, 10,000 salary. Like they'll just open their mouth just like that, even if they don't have any skill. And she was like, you were the first person who said no salary. I was like, I don't want salary. I don't want to settle. I don't want to settle for basic, I want big. I want to hustle. If I'll have salary, 5,000 salary, I'll be like, oh, I have my expense getting taken care. I have my rent getting paid. So I won't work hard. I will not have that drive.
And that's why people get stuck there.
Exactly.
Right? Even in real estate, like I'll give you a story. So, in 2011 when I started selling condos, so that year I ended up selling 400. So the end of 2011, I'd sold 400 condos in downtown Toronto.
First year of sales, you said
Yeah.
400 units?
400 units.
That's insane.
In downtown, right?
You have seen the peak
Yeah,
then.
yeah. 400, right? And so I made a lot of money, obviously. I never went back to university, because there was no need,
no.
right? And, but that was where I had some of my friends now, because I made money. I had bought a Bentley. I was like 19, 20 years old, right?
Bentley at the age of 19?
Yeah. 19 or 20, right? My first nice car was a Mercedes E-Class Coupe. And then from there, I bought a Bentley. And then from there, a Rolls Royce. But people in the community started to realize, there's money in real estate. Real estate's a license, lalo, right? So I remember some of my friends that got into real estate. They became licensed. And here is going back to your point. They do 1, 2, 3 deals. Bas ho jandi hai. Right? BT maybe ban gaya, lazy ho jande hai, right? Jada vacation they chal jande hai. And those time they which I remember I didn't go on vacation for like 7 years. Every year actually I sold 400 condos a year for 10 years.
That's amazing.
I sold 4,000, right? 4,000 condos in pre-construction all over downtown and Mississauga, Vaughan, other markets, but mainly downtown, which 4,000 ma beche. Over $1 billion of real estate there. But it was right time, right place. The market was here. Us time there was koi agent bechda nahi si. Jinhone apna naam bana liya, right? And they stayed consistent. They controlled the market for 10 years. Because jodo builder da nama project aunda si, they said, okay, 5, 6, 7, right? They can sell a lot of units. Sari building innu de do.
Right.
Inu 30 de do, onu 30 de do, inu 50 de do.
Exclusive
right? Exclusive access. So pretty much minu almost every project de which exclusive access mil gayi. And then I used to go and advertise on every Punjabi radio and every Punjabi TV station. And I used to talk about new projects coming out and jidi mere ko exclusive incentive B unit de which I can give you guys this, but only this weekend. And weekend de which I would do big events. And weekend de which bhi bek jande si. That's what it was. And I told so many of my friends, tusi mere na kaam karo. Sare, none of them stayed.
Because
none of them stayed.
मेरे नाल भी इतना होंदा है मैं भी देखी है real estate market ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਨਾ lot of young kids are joining real estate looking at my videos or other social media influencers, right? They think it's rosy and glamorous कि makeup करना है, सोना सूट पाना है and just video बनानी है and you're successful in real estate. It's not the reality. I always say it's not even 1% of my life what I live every day. Like I hustle, I work like literally till 11 o'clock. It's 10 o'clock. It's 9 o'clock right now.
We're here right now.
We're right here.
Right?
And I have Zoom calls after this.
And it's a Saturday.
Yeah.
Think about this. What are most people doing right now on a Saturday?
Party. Out.
Right?
Yeah.
Drinking, restaurant, party. And I get it. You want to enjoy your life, right? But that's why when you see people like this, that sacrifice the weekend, sacrifice certain things and they become successful. There's a reason why.
And tomorrow is Sunday and I have back-to-back meetings whole day. And most people would be sitting at home, waking up late.
Relaxing, chilling.
Yeah. But then people compare that, it's happening because you're pretty. It's happening because you're
Sony hai na? Yeah, Sony, this, that.
But they don't see the hard work behind. And I'm sure ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਵੀ ਏਦਾਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੋਏਗਾ ਕਿ ਹਾਂ
ਮੈਨੂੰ ਮੇਰੇ ਨਾਲ ਬਹੁਤ ਏਦਾਂ ਹੋਇਆ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਸੀ because ਤੇਰਾ ਡੈਡ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਜਾਣਦਾ ठीक है मेरा dad लोगों को जानता but does my dad know 4,000 condo buyers, right?
No, of course not,
right? And then even jere kalo mere dad de friend both successful businessmen Canada de which way more successful than my dad, I could say financially, big business owners. I look at their kids and I'm like, their kids have the same sara kuch tusi kalo relationship connections but they never did nothing, right? Because it goes back to the person. It goes to, like your drive. How bad do you want it?
True.
What are you willing to do to get it?
True.
Right? And never take your foot off the gas. So the thing is, people put the foot on the gas, they make some money and they take the foot off. But time keeps going.
Definitely.
Time doesn't stop for anybody, right?
Exactly.
But if you can keep the foot on the gas for year after year after year after year, you don't even know where you're going to get in 10 years.
Exactly. I think every industry, whatever work you start, whatever business you start, you need to give at least 10 years.
10 saal.
10 saal lagdi hai to establish, to become pro in that industry. After that, you can remote control. You don't really have to rush around, run around.
Exactly.
Like you established, you have your set of investors. You don't have to go out of the way to meet people or like,
there you go.
Yeah.
Right? Because all those time there was, you made strong relationships.
Exactly.
Right? And now you can pick up the phone. Pehla jado when you work all over the place, deal pata nahi kidda karni hai, or kisin itte milana, just to do one deal. But now you could pick up the phone because the relationship deal's done.
And they'll trust you.
They trust you.
They trust you,
right?
because you made them money.
Made the money.
Yeah.
Plus, there's another thing I'll say, and maybe you can relate to this too. I have a lot of agents that I know. They did a lot of deals. They made a lot of money, but they forgot about the client.
Yeah, they never approach back. And I did those mistakes too.
Yeah. It happens because we're so busy. We're so busy and we're always thinking about the next deal, right?
So what do you do to keep all the relationship like?
You know what? What I do is I would just pick up the phone, call them, right? I would go to their house, meet them for lunch, dinner. I would always invite them to downtown. I would take them out. Right? Take them out, just dinners and that type of stuff, right? But just became close. Call them all the time. Spend time with them. But then also help them when times are tough. Like right now, a lot of agents have changed phone numbers.
Yeah, because
the market is so bad. जिन्होंने 4 साल पहला condo book किती होन closing आ गई, closing हुंदी नहीं, extension चाहिए, appraisal थल्ले आ गई, right? The agents just change their phone numbers.
That's
very bad, right? So in this time, I have to work extra hard, but you have to pick up the client's call.
You have to make them feel comfortable.
Make them feel comfortable, right? Because real estate is one of those things. Yeah, paise bande, thalle bhi aa jandi market, but future de vich utte jani hai, right? Because at the end of the day, population is going to go up, land will be fixed, cost to build is not going to get less, it's going to become more, right? You have to get, jehdi thalle problem chaldi, you have to get over it.
Right.
But if you don't reassure the client,
you lose that client forever.
You lose the client.
Because when you're not standing with them in their bad times, they're not going to work with you again.
100%. And one of the condo rent they lonia, right? So I have a team that just rents out their condos because some agents say, "Asi rent the company karte hai." Rent they which, you know, as a commission,
you don't make
that
much money,
right? But I remember in my time especially when I started, I was renting people's condos and they bought it from somebody else. But that agent wasn't picking up their phone to rent it. So I was doing this type of work, renting it, but then they became good friends. And that same person ended up buying 5, 6, 7 condos over 12 years. Right?
We have the same issue here in Dubai. Right? People who sell, they don't want to rent because you don't make money.
Yeah.
That's why I also have my own team who rent all my investors' properties because in Dubai, I have investors from overseas, from Canada, US, UK, time difference zone. They don't have time to come here to talk to 10 different people for renting property maintenance.
Yeah.
So you need to have everything under one umbrella so 100%. That they can feel comfortable investing, putting their money here. Because they're trusting me. They're trusting you when they're investing. They're not investing in a property. They're investing on you.
Right? And that's what it is. And you're the one who's telling them which project to buy.
Exactly.
Which unit to buy. Which layout. Which view. Right? If you look at it, you're the one, especially when you're dealing with investors, you're pretty much like a financial planner.
Right.
Advising them on the right decisions to make. And you know, in the same building, you could buy a good unit and a bad unit.
True.
And each unit, one might go up in price, one might not go up in price at all because it was already priced wrong.
Right.
Maybe the view was going to become fully blocked where there wouldn't be a future buyer who wants to buy it, right? And that goes back to the agent on being able to educate themselves to educate the client.
Definitely.
Right?
And what is your advice to investors from Canada who are investing in Dubai?
You know what? Like, I actually want to learn more about Dubai, right? And I was going to ask you some questions because my wife loves it here. And she keeps telling me we got to buy something here, we got to move here. She wants to even move here. But I love it as a place to come and visit, be here for a month, maybe leave, come back. How is this market? Because is this a place where people come and permanently come and live long term? Or I see a lot of wealthy people here. Is this like a vacation property and then they're in and out? Or
no, I've seen people who've been living here from last 40 years, 50 years.
Wow.
I have investors who are born here in Dubai. So it's a place to stay.
It's a place to stay.
A lot of families are moving here.
Yeah.
It's kind of hub for Asia and to be honest,
and Europe,
for the whole
world.
To be honest.
Well,
and it's the safest nest in the world.
Yeah.
If you talk about families, especially if you have kids, people feel safe.
Extremely
here.
safe.
Extremely safe.
Yeah.
Your schools are safe, no drugs, no weapons, no crime, no ਚੋਰੀਆਂ ਚਕਾਰੀਆਂ, nothing. ਕੋਈ ਗਾਲਾਂ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੱਢਦਾ ਇੱਥੇ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਹੋਣਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਨਾ. If you swear on someone and someone goes complain against you, you're done.
Seriously,
you're in jail for 1 year. Yes.
Jail for 1 year.
ਗਾਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੱਢਣੀ ਇੱਥੇ.
Yeah, ਮੈਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਗਾਲ ਕੱਢਣੀ.
ਗਾਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੱਢਣੀ ਆ.
That's what every time I come here, I love it.
Yeah.
Right?
People say in Western countries that, oh, human rights nahi hage, galt hai, ye wo. But me being a girl, I extremely feel safe. And I don't want that environment jithe galan kad rahe loki lad rahe daru pi ke rola pa rahe hai ki no, I don't want that, you know. I want that family environment. I want that I want to enjoy that life as well, but I want peace, you know.
So how did you end up here?
Punjab to?
Yeah.
ਸਾਰੇ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਤੋਂ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਮੂਵ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਹੈਗੇ, everybody is, you know, move out for
better opportunity, right? And ਤੁਸੀਂ came here, probably started working, right?
Started working. Me and my brother moved here. And that's how we started working. We took whatever job we saw. Anything. I was making 1100 dirham per month when I moved here. 1100 dirham matlab $300 ਮਹੀਨੇ ਦਾ. And I used to
ਬਹੁਤ ਮੁਸ਼ਕਲ ਹੋਣਾ ਸੀ.
As you mentioned, ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਡੈਡ ਇੱਥੇ ਆਏ ਸੀਗੇ ਹਨਾ, 7-8 ਬੰਦਿਆਂ ਨਾਲ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ ਸੀ. So I used to stay with 10 girls in one room. Yeah, so we used to have that bunker bed. 2 ਬੈੱਡ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ ਤੇ ਇੱਕ ਰੂਮ 'ਚ 4-5 ਬੈੱਡ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਸੀ. I used to stay like that. But no complaints. I'm like, that's a process.
Well,
you have to, if you
go through it.
You have to go through it, and you learned a lot from that process. You know?
Makes you value things.
ਹੁਣ ਮੈਂ ਕੁਝ ਵੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਲੈਣੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ, I value that, ਹੈ ਨਾ. ਮੈਨੂੰ ਖੁਸ਼ੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈਗੀ. If I had everything served on my plate, I would have like, okay, normal hai, mainu normal lagda hai na. I'm grateful. I'm blessed that I've been through that process. No complaints. And Dubai has gave us a lot of opportunities. It's a land of opportunities.
100%.
ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਸੀ ਨਾ 90s ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਿ US is a land of opportunity. American dream, Canadian dream. I think Dubai is the place right now. It's Dubai dream now. Like everybody who moved here 10 years ago, 20 years ago, I have seen them growing. I have seen them like changing their life. Mere naal jede loki move hoye sige, like I'm shocked to see kind of growth they have achieved. Like it's amazing. It's mind blowing.
So how did you get into real estate?
Real estate, COVID. I lost everything in COVID. As we all did, most of us. So I lost my job. I lost everything in COVID, and then I had nothing to do. I was free. So right after COVID was ending in I think November 2020. And I had no job. I didn't have money to pay for my rent. And then one of my friend was like, why don't you join real estate? I was like, I don't know how to talk because I was very I'm still very introvert.
Very shy, right?
Shy and introvert. I have no friends. People will be shocked. Like I have no friends. I have only my family. Like I just talk to my family. I don't go out. I don't go out in the evenings. I don't like I don't meet anybody, you know, except my work. And then I was like, I don't know how to talk. I don't have friends. I don't have circle. How am I going to sell real estate?
Where am I going to find people?
Exactly. ਤਾਂ ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਤੂੰ ਬਸ ਵੜ ਜਾ, ਦੇਖੀ ਜਾਊਗੀ ਬਾਅਦ ਚ, ਹਨਾ. ਤਾਂ ਉਸ ਟਾਈਮ ਤੇ ਕੋਈ ਹੋਰ ਆਪਸ਼ਨ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀਗੀ ਮੇਰੇ ਕੋਲ. I could only see this. I was like, okay, let me get my license. I applied for license. I got my license. Started selling real estate. First 1 year. Luckily, I closed one deal, good deal, in first 1 year. Like first 3 months, sorry. So I closed 3 or 4 deals first 1 year.
So you put some money in your pocket.
So first 1 or 2 years were okay, but now since last 2 years, I've been even good. Since I started my social media has changed my life completely. I was like.
Well, I mean, we know each other because of social media.
And I met people from social media who I never thought I will meet in my life. Like those kind of people that influence people. Like it's amazing. It's a great platform if you know how to use it.
You know how to use it. And you got to use it as a tool.
Exactly.
Right? It is probably the best tool that's free.
You don't have to pay for it.
You don't got to pay for it.
ਇੱਥੇ billboard ਲਾਣੇ ਹੋਣ, millions of dirhams ਲੱਗਦੇ ਹੈਗੇ. And on social media, everybody can see you every 5 minutes you are on someone's page. You know, everybody can see you.
They wake up, they're in the washroom, they're making food, coffee.
Billboard road ਤੇ ਲਾਉਣਾ ਹੋਵੇ ਤਾਂ ਉਹ ਗੱਡੀ ਡਰਾਈਵ ਕਰਨਗੇ ਤਦ ਹੀ ਦੇਖ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ. Social media ਤੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਉਹ 24 ਘੰਟੇ ਦੇਖ ਸਕਦੇ.
And all over the world.
Exactly.
Right? Like you have clients from all over.
All over the world. Yeah, it's insane. It's
amazing.
mind blowing.
Your story is amazing.
Yeah,
it's
thank
very
you.
inspiring actually. No, Sachi, right? Like it is very inspiring because you came here with nothing from a country where you know, like you probably had to overcome so many things.
A lot of things, English especially. ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ ਵੈਸੇ ਰੇਸਿਜ਼ਮ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੀ that way we are lucky ਦੁਬਈ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਉਹ ਫੇਸ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਨਾ ਪੈਂਦਾ ਕਿ ਕਲਰ ਉਹ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਉਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ
ਸੇਮ ਲੱਗਦੇ ਆ
ਸਾਰੇ ਅਰਬ ਵੀ ਸੇਮ ਹੀ ਹੈ so we don't feel different because ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਹੋਣਾ ਇੱਥੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ ਇੰਡੀਅਨਸ ਹੈ ਮਿਕਸਡ ਕਲਚਰ ਹੈ ਇੱਥੇ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਹਰ ਕੰਟਰੀ ਦਾ ਬੰਦਾ ਮਿਲ ਜਾਏਗਾ ਤਾਂ ਕੋਈ ਬੌਦਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਦਾ ਇੱਥੇ ਇਦਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ ਕਿ ਗੋਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਅਲੱਗ ਟਰੀਟ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਜਾਂ ਇਦਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ ਇੱਥੇ everything is same that way we didn't face any issue but it's just ਕਿ ਉਹ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਕਿ confidence ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ when you come from small city small village you don't know how to talk to people because ਆਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਿੰਡਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਿਖਾਇਆ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਾਂਦਾ how to talk how to interact with other people how to hold conversation I didn't know anything ਮੈਨੂੰ ਬੋਲਣਾ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ I had to learn everything
and as a woman as a girl like that's what my wife was telling me today she's like you know she's done extremely well and it's 10 times harder when you're a girl.
True.
Right?
People take you for granted and people try to I'm like log ਹੋਰ intentions ਲੈ ਕੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਮਿਲਦੇ ਹੈਗੇ but you don't want that right it's very tough and especially in business like real estate luckily like I think social media ਤੇ ਮੇਰੀ ਨਾ personality ਬਹੁਤ ਲੜਾਕੀ ਲੱਗਦੀ ਹੈਗੀ people think I'm very ਲੜਾਕੀ and I'm like you know strong personality so people don't approach me in that way ਜੋ ਵੀ approach ਕਰਦੇ real estate ਲਈ approach ਕਰਦੇ ਆ so that way
ਵਧੀਆ ਚੀਜ਼ ਹੈ
ਡਰ ਕੇ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ So
that's good because you set the expectation.
Yeah, exactly.
This is, you know who I am.
Only real estate.
Business, right? When it comes to real estate, I'm your person.
No hanky panky.
Yeah.
Definitely. Tell us more about your goals. What do you want to do? What's your vision?
When it comes to goals, right? My thing is to just constantly think bigger and keep going bigger. You know, real estate's been a part of everything, and real estate's still a huge business for us. However, we also branched off into a completely different business, what I was kind of talking about.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, we pretty much started franchising a product, and we grew it through a business model called digital franchise. Now, what is a digital franchise? A lot of people do not know what it is. So, if you look at a traditional franchise, think of a restaurant. You have a restaurant in one location. Okay?
Right.
Where you have customers that are coming in and you're making money. Now, how do you grow a traditional franchise? You need multiple locations. Very few people can do it because it needs a lot of money to grow.
True.
So just like social media, we grew our business through a digital franchise model, which was you didn't need money to grow. Right? So what we did was, think of it like this. It's like a real estate brokerage. You have a brokerage, you have agents that are successful, making money. And when you want to grow, you want to open up another brokerage. And you want to open up another brokerage. Like think about a main company that has multiple franchise locations. We took that type of concept and turned it into a concept to grow a product that the world needs. You know, a product that helps people with things like cholesterol, weight loss, diabetes, blood pressure, energy, all those type of things, gut health. And people all over the world need it. And this is how different it is than real estate. Now, real estate, I could sell Toronto.
Right.
I can sell as much as I can in Toronto, but I can't sell all over the world.
Right.
Now, with this, you're able to grow this over 60, 70 countries.
That's amazing.
Right? From your phone. So this has become something that's very big for us now. In fact, me and my brother and my wife, we're all partnered up with a few other people, but we've built it from, I would say, 0 to now over 4,000 franchises just in North America.
That's insane.
Right? So yeah. It's pretty crazy because it's so different than real estate.
Right.
But also very similar.
Right.
To real estate.
That's amazing.
Right? Yeah.
What is one advice you would like to give to younger generation who are willing to start real estate?
I would say a big piece of advice that I would give is that understand that it's going to take time. It might not happen overnight, but it's going to happen.
Agree.
It's going to happen. As long as you stay in the game long enough.
And you should have a backup of at least a year before you get into real estate because otherwise you end up getting frustrated and you end up quitting.
Yes, you end up quitting. Another thing I would say is think big. Don't think small. And what does that mean? And this is what changed in my life. My goal was to make $100,000 a year. And I would be happy when I was 18, 19. When I met that mentor that changed my life, he asked me, Bikram, what's your goal? I said, to make about $100,000 a year right now. He goes, 100, that's nothing. He goes, think at least $1 million. And I was like, $1 million? I didn't even understand how to get to $1 million. Okay? But he took down, from a piece of paper and a pen, he showed me how many deals in a year you should focus on in a month and how many in a week and what you got to do to get there. And he took a big goal and made it small. And then I realized $1 million wasn't that hard.
Wow. You were lucky to have that mentor.
I was lucky to have
because
them.
Most people don't get that chance, get that person who can guide them.
Exactly.
Recently, I hired a girl. She worked under me and she's really hardworking, just like me. She's from Punjab, Pind, lives here. And she is going through a lot of issues, financial issues, right?
Yeah.
She's struggling. And she cried in front of me. And I told her, I gave her a task, like, you have 1 week. Get me your goals. I want to see your goals for next 1 year.
Yeah.
And I want to see your goals for next 5 years.
Yes.
And I gave her some ideas. Let's say you want to buy a car. Let's say you want your kids to be study in certain school.
Yeah.
And she came back to me yesterday. I was sitting with her. She said, like, Didi, I wrote my goals. She gave me goals, and her goals were like very like, I want to send my kids to this school.
Yeah.
I want to buy my husband a nice car. He drives a small car.
Wow.
And मैं ਉਹਦੇ ਤੇ ਨਾ ਸਾਰੇ ਤੇ ਅੱਧਾ ਕੱਟ ਕਰਤਾ. I started a new page. I gave her goals. I was like, these are too small. If you're sitting next to me, you can't think this small. You have to think big. I said, you are buying your own Range Rover in next 3 years. And you're buying a brand new car in next 4 months or 5 months. And gave her a bigger goal, and she felt so like energetic. She was like, I never thought I can buy a Range Rover. I mean, like, now you can, because you're sitting next to me. You can't think small.
There you go.
So you have to think big. It might take time. It might not happen in 3 years. It might happen in 4 years. But it will happen.
It'll happen. That's why I would say that's a very important piece of advice. And see, it goes back to think. So what do you think is possible? Right? If you don't think it's possible and you can't accomplish it, then you're right.
Exactly.
It's not going to be possible.
Right.
But if you think it's possible and you believe it, you got to believe it, completely believe that you can do it, okay? Because if someone else is doing it, if someone else is successful, why can't you be successful?
I think the same
way.
When I meet my investors, when I see that they're buying like 50 million dirham worth of house mansions, I was like, if he can make that, why can't I make that?
Why can't you?
What is he doing different, what I'm not doing, so that I can make that, I can do that and I can make that money. That's the mindset we should have.
That's the mindset. So you got to believe it and you got to want it. Think these thoughts, and sometimes you got to rewire your mindset. Right? But the other thing I think is very important is to understand why. Because when times are tough or you might want to quit, the whys will keep you in the game.
Definitely.
Like, if I quit now, will I be able to fulfill these things? Can I put my kids in a good school? No. Right? Can I buy this thing? No. Why was I doing this? When you review the whys, it will keep you going.
Definitely.
It will keep you going, right? So that's another thing. And then I would say the other thing is compound effect, which is pretty much like what we spoke about. But compound effect is, you start now, you might not get the results, but in that time, you're developing yourself. You're developing your confidence, your skills, how to talk, how to present. You're just becoming better day by day.
Learning period.
Learning. And as you learn, the compound will go, and then you just start to take off.
True.
So I would say, have the patience.
First 1 year is always a learning period. You should not get desperate that, I need to make money. I need to make millions of money. No, that's a learning period.
Yes.
Focus only on product knowledge.
Exactly.
Area knowledge. Global market, how it's behaving, how you can improve more. Now, let's do rapid fire. मैं थोड़ी दी ना Karan Johar वाले phase च आ गई हैगी हुणे. You know Karan Johar? Karan Johar, Indian actor and producer, I think.
Okay.
ਉਹ ਕਰਦਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਨਾ rapid fire.
Okay.
ਆਪਣੇ ਸ਼ੋਅ ਤੇ ਤੇ ਉਹਦੀ ਕਾਪੀ ਕਰ ਰਹੀ ਹਾਂ ਅੱਜ ਕੱਲ੍ਹ.
ਕਰੀਏ.
ਚਲੋ ਰੈਪਿਡ ਫਾਇਰ. ਸ਼ਾਰਟ ਵਰਡਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਸੈਂਟੈਂਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ 1-2 ਵਰਡਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਵਾਬ ਦੇਣਾ, ਠੀਕ ਹੈ?
ਠੀਕ ਆ.
What are your thoughts about Dubai real estate market?
Limitless.
Luxury.
Anything's possible.
True. Do you believe in luck or hard work?
Both.
True. Agree.
Hard work, and if you continue to work hard, luck will come.
Definitely. Who's your biggest support?
Wife, parents, brothers. 3.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Wife ਹੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦੀ, ਹਾਂ? ਬੋਲਣਾ ਪੈਂਦਾ, ਨਹੀਂ ਤਾਂ ਡੰਡੇ ਪੈਣਗੇ ਘਰੋਂ.
ਸਾਰੇ. You know what? And it's honest, because I've been with my wife, boyfriend, girlfriend for a long time before when I had no money. So I always look at it, she was there for all that time.
That's pure.
That's pure. And also kept me focused and grounded, because a lot of guys, once they start making money, also get a little
दिमाग खराब हो जाता है सोनिया
right?
गड्डियां सोनिया नड्डियां
right yeah so it kept me focused you know
very good
and then mom and dad always because they always support
definitely what's your favorite food
Punjabi Italian too
अच्छा
yeah
ਤੁਸੀਂ ਰੋਜ਼ ਖਾਂਦੇ ਹੋ ਇੰਡੀਅਨ ਫੂਡ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ
ਰੋਜ਼ ਨਹੀਂ ਰੋਜ਼ ਨਹੀਂ
ਖਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਨਾ
ਨਹੀਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਰੋਜ਼ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਣੀ
ਹਾਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਜਦੋਂ ਯੰਗ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ ਨਾ ਆਪਾਂ when you are in teenage phase ਚ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ ਨਾ you eat ਰੋਟੀਆਂ every day I used to eat like 7-8 ਰੋਟੀਆਂ in a whole day ਸਵੇਰ ਵੀ ਰੋਟੀਆਂ ਸ਼ਾਮ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਰੋਟੀਆਂ ਹੁਣ ਤਾਂ ਇੱਕ ਰੋਟੀ ਖਾ ਲਓ ਢਿੱਡ ਤੋਂਦ ਬਾਹਰ ਆ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ
ਸਹੀ ਗੱਲ ਆ
how do you start your day
how do I start my day so I started in the morning where a few things I do I drink water right away right I pray every single day and for me I do like Mool Mantar every single morning and I thank God for everything I have gratitude all those type of things from there I read and this is what I never used to do when I was younger I always used to pray and stuff but now I pray read something that is for my mind okay so anything self-development and then from there I visualize and it's crazy because if you told me years ago I would never do this but now I sit there and I look at my goals I start to imagine that I'm already there
you picturize you visualize
I visualize
I do that
right?
too
yes
and it's so funny we only start doing this after 30s before 30s आप अपनी हवा च हुन्ने हैगे that we are the boss है ना we don't think all this is so funny like age can change a lot of things है ना अपना point vision we change every few years and I think I am so like
and
lucky
it's good if you're changing because some people don't change and like I said time goes by and next thing you know 10 20 30 saal chale gaye nothing happened
when you lose time
right
the most expensive purchase of your life
real estate related or car
property nahi
because property most expensive
nahi
then outside of that is going to be Rolls Royce Rolls Royce Cullinan black badge
how much was it
in Canada it was a little over 750,000
Canadian dollar dirhams ਚ ਕਿੰਨੇ ਬਣੇਗਾ
times 3 so ਕਿੰਨੇ ਬਣਦੇ ਤੇ
ਮੈਥ ਘੱਟ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਵਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਰੋ
2.1 ਇੱਥੇ I think 2 ਮਿਲੀਅਨ ਦੀ ਦਰਮ ਦੀ ਗੱਡੀ ਹੋਣੀ ਆ
2 ਮਿਲੀਅਨ ਦੀ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਦੇ 5 ਕਰੋੜ ਦੀ 5 ਕਰੋੜ ਮਾਸ਼ਾਅੱਲਾ ਓਕੇ ਹੋਰ ਘਰ ਦੱਸੋ ਘਰ ਕਿਹੜਾ ਮੋਸਟ ਐਕਸਪੈਂਸਿਵ ਹਾਊਸ ਕਿਹੜਾ ਬਾਏ ਕੀਤਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ
most expensive house nothing crazy right
investment property
would probably be most expensive was 15 million Canadian dollars around 45-50 million
45 million ਇੰਡੀਆ ਦਾ 100 ਕਰੋੜ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਚ ਇੰਡੀਅਨ ਕਰੰਸੀ ਚ ਟ੍ਰਾਂਸਲੇਟ ਕਰਨਾ ਪੈਂਦਾ ਨਾ ਕਿ ਦਰਸ਼ਕ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਤੋਂ ਵੀ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ
ਠੀਕ
ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਫਿਰ ਔਖਾ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਹੈ ਟ੍ਰਾਂਸਲੇਟ ਓਕੇ what's your next
goal is to become 1 million a month positive cash flow
amazing
million a month positive cash flow like I've always had a high goal for net worth what I learned in this time in Canada you could have 100 million net worth 200 million 300 million but your net worth doesn't mean nothing if you don't have the cash flow because now when things are slow there's people that are losing their assets because they don't have the cash flows to support the asset
you need to have backup
yes so my goal is to have 1 million a month positive coming in every single month no matter what outside of real estate and that's what we're doing in the digital franchise business that's the reason why
amazing and I think that's going to work very well I think you need to expand in Dubai as well because nobody's doing here
we're going to expand
perfect
right? We're going to expand and maybe you could be one of the ones that maybe you could be the one that takes it and blows it up here
definitely
right? That's exactly what I did in Toronto was I was a real estate person that brought it in and people were thinking what's this guy's a real estate guy what is he doing right but all I understood was how are we going to grow it we have a strategy in place and can we get there
right
absolutely yes and I saw one of my friends do it I'll be honest I never came up with it my friend grew it similar business model in United States from Canada but in the US and they got to a point where they're making 1.2 to 1.3 million a month
that's insane
no employees no mortgage no overhead no expenses think about that
no liabilities
and I said wow if they can do it I can definitely do this it's going to take time but I realized it was just totally incredible opportunity so that's the goal
और competition भी नहीं हैगा ज़्यादा है ना
कोई नहीं competition because a product is so unique patented product, and no other company can make a similar product because the company that makes it has been making it for 40 years. We're pretty much the distributors. Distributors. Right. That's what it is.
Perfect. Great. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
You give us so many insights about the Canadian market and global market. That was amazing. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
And appreciate.
I appreciate
Dosanjh
it.
Da munda cha gaya. Thank you so much, guys, for watching this podcast. ਤੇ ਆਪਣਾ ਰਿਵਿਊ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਦਿਓ, ਫੀਡਬੈਕ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਦਿਓ, ਕਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਚੰਗੀਆਂ ਲੱਗੀਆਂ ਤੇ ਕਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੱਗੀਆਂ. ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਸੋ ਮਚ. ਹੈਵ ਅ ਵੰਡਰਫੁਲ ਡੇ. ਬਾਏ ਬਾਏ.